Welcome back. Let's dive right in. So, in the last week, since I last talked to you guys, I feel like so much has changed. So much has happened. I've had so many realizations. I do still have that fun sinus infection, but um, I did finally go to the minute clinic online or whatever, and I did get some medicine. So I am able to breathe a little bit better. But my thoughts are still really, really jumbled and clouded. But I had um, some huge epiphanies about the podcast and just about life in general, really. Um, I had said in switching from the sober bartender over to Good Words with Brandy Kelly that I wanted to zoom out from the lens of sobriety and recovery and be a little bit more inclusive to everyone. And then someone came to me in one of the bars I work at, and she just told me like how much she appreciates what I do and how much it helps. And, that she's, still drinking and she's still struggling, but that it helps. And it was just something that reminded me that like I can help best in what I've struggled with the most. Like when I think about how can I help, I have to think about what breaks my heart and the struggle of being caught in that just nonstop loop of drinking and not wanting to and wanting to do better, but then wanting to do it anyway. Um, just knowing that it's bad for your health or you're on probation or your family's just never going to forgive you. And then giving into that voice that tells you just this one more time, or it's not that big of a deal when you really know that it is. And you do want to know what that life is like without it, but it seems impossible. That's important work. And that's really what I feel like I'm here to do. Like, this isn't about me. This is about you. And if this resonates with you, or if if you've experienced this with your sister, or with your father, or with, your coworker, or with your spouse, this is for you. So we're still going to say good words, but these words are going to be in the direction of hope and recovery from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body and spirit. You are not hopeless and you are not too far gone. Like I read something, what did it say? It was I saved a picture of it and it just was simple, but it just touched my heart. It says it's Toni Morrison, American novelist and social critic. She said, if you were free, you need to free somebody else. If you have some power, then your job is to empower somebody else. And I am absolutely free from a condition that I thought would always have a grip on me. I thought I would always drink or have to use some kind of substance. I thought that I would always be controlled by that. I would always be seeking outside of myself to try to control my environment or change the way I'm thinking or I'm feeling, or scratch this invisible itch that I could never quite reach. And I can honestly say that that's not the case anymore. I can recognize that I'm trying to control things around me, and then I can just come to the present moment and I can let it all play out. Um, and so when I share my own experience, it's just to give you some insight and just an example of what is possible. Because I'm not different or special or unique. I don't have something that you don't have. I don't have some magical superpower. I wasn't better or worse of a drinker than you. Um, there's drinkers in my family history. They said that I had it on both sides. Regardless of that, I mean, I recognized that it was my choices that were leading me to my outcomes and to my repeated patterns and behaviors, and it was also my choices that made the difference. My choice to change, my choice to ask for help, thinking that I was just gonna outthink it, or I was gonna outsmart it, or I was gonna control it. I tried that for, a few years, and that might have been the most miserable time. It was way harder than letting it go. So I do want to report I have good news on our Good Words podcast that mom's cancer is all but gone. Her tumor is less than 5 millimeters in size. So practically gone. And to be perfectly honest, to be transparent, I don't feel the relief that I thought I would feel. I still feel the same fear of it could come back, or I don't know, I felt like there was the potential for so many lessons in how to live and how to care for ourselves, and I don't want those lessons to be lost in the wellness. Does that make sense? Does that sound harsh? Like, I did quit vaping and all of that, and I think mom, started making some healthier choices, but, at the same time, I thought it would be this big life-altering thing, and it was kind of a blip on the radar, and it feels so much bigger than that. But with it, like the treatment doing what it was supposed to do, and life going on, and her going back to work, it feels, I don't know, it feels still scary. So that's something that I'm sitting with and that I'm just giving love to and, investigating. But really good news. It is good news. And, I'm just so thankful for her recovery. I'm thankful that she's, coming out the other side of this. If only it could just sit into me that she's better, because it just doesn't feel like it yet. Um, so also, there's been a lot, going on inside our little world. We're really excited. Our world just feels like it's expanding at the moment, and I won't get too far into detail, but I just I feel like I'm in a time of transition, and there are things that are coming my way that are really pointing to that. And I had a friend give me a gift, and it was a beautiful gift with a beautiful message, and I just have to share. Um, it was like answers came to me without me asking the question. And I just thought this was so neat. Um, so I got this like this white light oracle deck. So I, did what she said and just put my hand on my heart and just, blessed the deck and took some time to just love on it and just shuffle and pick a card that felt aligned to me. And I got the 7 blessings of Eve. And I'll just read you the first little part, but it's really, really neat. It says, "A spiritual gift shall enter your heart and manifest as a blessing in your life. You have innate talents and abilities which will support your soul into full, glorious manifestation. You have been blessed with a beautiful divine destiny to fulfill." I feel that. "You have natural healing ability. Choose your thoughts and words so they reflect what you truly wish to put out into the world, because your influence is stronger and further reaching than you realize. I mean, if that isn't the perfect thing to be gifted and just to take into my consciousness at a time where, I'm changing the podcast and I'm questioning just my own motivations and my own direction. And, just to come across that and be reminded that I do need to be uh, thoughtful of what I'm putting into the world because you're listening, you are here, and I do have wisdom that I have gained from knowledge and from experience, and I feel like it's my duty, it's my purpose and my destiny to share those things with you. And so I'm thankful and I'm glad and I'm reminded that I'm being guided. That was just a huge reminder that, that I'm on the path. And I don't know if you guys journal, but gosh, I've said it before and I will say it again. Get yourself a little book, get yourself a little whatever. This one says, be kind to yourself. And I mean, just in the morning, sit quiet for 5 minutes. I like to meditate before I write in it, but if I, just need to get going, then I sit quiet for 5 minutes. And then I started out with, what am I to know today, God? And I just let my pen flow. And sometimes it's a journal entry, and sometimes it is magnificent marvelings that I don't know where they came from. But ooh, either way, I uh I just am being reminded that I don't need to shy away from recovery because that's the knowledge and the information that I have that I need to give to you guys. Because even if you're not ready, like I just come across more and more people every day that have that desire. They have just that they they know that it's an issue and they know that they want something different. And I want that for them more than anything. I want people to experience, I pray that people get to experience the other side. Recovery has brought everything good in my life. Like the best things in my life are a result of quitting drinking and then working on myself and living in recovery. The best things. And I want that for you. I won't say that it's easy, and I won't say, like it's not easy, but it is so worth it. And I couldn't have prayed for this. I couldn't have pictured this because it just wasn't in my realm of consciousness. This wasn't even anything that I could have, like people say, I'm living a life beyond my wildest dreams. And it's not because I have a fancy car or because I live in a big house. It's because I live in here. And now this is a safe space. This is a happy place. This is a loving space. I didn't know how to love myself. I just didn't. And recovery gave me that. And we all find it different ways. Some people find it at church. Some people find it at AA. Some people find it in recovery dharma. Some people find it in the gym. But wherever it is, I hope you find it. I hope you keep searching for it. Keep going. Like that little voice inside your head that says, like, maybe tomorrow, keep listening to it. Don't be too hard on yourself, but every day is a new day to start over. And we can only do one day at a time. So maybe don't think about forever, but just think about what you can do today to make a different choice. Whether it's, maybe it's not drinking, maybe it's social media, or maybe it's, a person that you don't need in your life and you feel like you have to contact them. Maybe today's the day that you regardless of excuses and regardless of consequences, just don't reach out, because that's something else I've been wanting to touch on. Gosh, our excuses, our reasons, our justifications, and our rationalizations, they're endless. And if you allow them to be there, then they will keep you stuck forever. If you keep telling the story of why you can't change, or why you can't just do something different, why you can't just for today not take a drink, just today go to a meeting, just today ask for help, just today stay off social media, just today, don't smoke or don't vape, or switch from coffee to tea, or for me, like, don't stop at the store to grab that candy bar. Like, just not forever. Don't worry about forever, but today. And I've been listening to a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he talks about how our thoughts actually change our feelings, and our feelings change our thoughts. So when we wake up and we're intentional with those thoughts, when we think about what we want our day to be, we visualize it, and we think about who we want to be, our future self, instead of relating to who we've been in the past, because we have that program that just is, it's there, and it just is always going. And it just like we wake up and we just walk to the bathroom without thinking. We wake up and we walk to the coffee maker. We wake up and we walk to the shower. We have to be intentional if we're going to change our programs, if we're going to, but that also involves making time, not just taking time, but getting up a little bit earlier to work out, getting up earlier to meditate, and putting that effort and that energy, because that's where creation goes, where energy is focused. So if you want to create a new life, you need to put your energy into your new life, not thinking about your old life. And don't be picturing what you're going to be missing out on. Picture what you want. Picture who you want to be and how you want to show up in places. Picture how you want to interact with people, and how kind and compassionate you want to be, and what it would feel like to be forgiving regardless of your excuses why you can't. And just meeting all situations with love. Can you imagine? I mean, I'm not there yet, but I imagine it. I visualize myself as that person. And I feel like every day I get closer to being that person that can just live in loving awareness. And I get knocked all the way down all the time. But I continue to get up, and having a daily spiritual practice, whatever that looks like, for me is the key to continuing to get up, because I have a place that I'm getting up and going to. I'm going to my meditation. I'm going to God. I'm going to my journaling. I'm going to that place in myself that is untouched by fear and um, jealousy and shame and guilt, because there is a safe place inside of me where I can go, where those things are, that this place is untouched by any of those things. And we all have that. But I had to take out the substances to find that place. So back to Dr. Joe. So he also says, what was I going to tell you? Oh, he also says, like, to do the morning visualization, and he has meditations. Like, you can get on YouTube and you can listen to these meditations, and there, like, I listen to them on the way to work, on the way home from work. I'm not meditating, I'm just listening to what he's telling us to do. But we can heal our bodies just like we can make ourselves sick. We can heal ourselves. But we've got to be willing to make the change. We've got to be willing to actually do something different instead of living that program. Like, I lived a program where I woke up and I started the shower and then went to the kitchen and poured myself vodka into a coffee cup and did a shot while the shower got warm. I lived that program. It was on autopilot, but I didn't start out that way. That was the result of daily habits that built that became my automatic program due to the habits that I instilled in my life. So, making different habits, changing those habits, one habit at a time. It had to start with the morning of how I woke up and what I did, like not worrying about heating up the shower, just turning it on and letting it be cold if it's going to be cold, or pouring myself a big cup of water, or, you know, I just getting off of work and having that automatic desire to sit down and have a shot. Instead of doing that, it's getting off of work and saying, I love you guys, I gotta go. And then just going right home. It doesn't have to be like that forever, but we're just doing today. And if there comes a day where we may be comfortable to be in those environments, like now I can be in those environments. Like people see me, in the bar. I'll go watch a football game with my husband. I don't feel like it has to be this black and white, you do or you don't, that you have to stay away. But I do feel like initially it's really important to just remove yourself from the situation, because you need to build these different habits. So you need to know what to do with your hands. So when you get off work, if normally you get off work and you go right for a drink, you need a straight up plan of what you're going to do when you get off work. Maybe you need to go and go for a walk on the beach if you're here in the coastal bend. Maybe you need to, go and sit in your garden. Maybe you need to go and walk dogs at the shelter. I don't know. Maybe you need to start crocheting. Maybe you need to start coloring. I give people in early recovery coloring books all the time, because it's almost a meditative process for people who their minds are too busy to meditate. But it just gives you something to do with your hands. And there is no shame in reaching out to someone and just saying, I want to give in, or, this may sound silly, but I just really want to drink right now. Like, it's okay to say that, because you know what? That passes, and that happens less and less frequently. Like, I talked to you guys about the whole vaping thing. Like, I quit vaping, it was October 12th. And I have felt like what Ram Dass has called the horny celibate, to where I quit vaping, but I still crave it. And it's been like a month of that craving something outside myself, craving that. And I acknowledge it. I say it out loud. I really want to vape right now. I really, my mind is telling me that I really want to drive to the vape shop and just grab a vape, but I don't act on it. I acknowledge it and I say it out loud, like, And that gives me an opportunity to, take a breath, or like do a little inquiry inside of myself and go like, what am I feeling? Like, what am I uncomfortable with, or what am I wanting to change, or, what's going on inside of me? And the point is, I don't give in, and I have a no matter what attitude. No matter what, I'm not gonna give in, and I'm not gonna go backwards. I'm going forward with love. And I love you. And I want the world for you. The world that I get to experience, where I don't have to drink, and I don't have to take a drug, and I don't have to worry about where I go or who's there. I don't have to watch my back, and I don't have to worry about answering the phone, and I'm not running from anything, and I'm a safe space for myself and for other people. I want that for you. I want it so bad. I know you want it too. I know, because I talk to you guys. I see you. I hear you. I know you want it. So just don't give up. Just pick a day. Message me. Pick a day. and just for that day. Even if you drink the next day, you'll have that one day, and then you can do it again and pick another day, and then get a couple days together, and then maybe add some tools, go to a meeting, talk to some other people that have absolutely been there, that totally understand what you're going through and want nothing more than to support you. Feels good to be back. Feels good to be in line with my purpose, not trying to figure out what to talk about. I want to talk to you from my heart and share the good words inside of me. And that was the point of all of this. And I feel like I got a little lost for a minute, but I'm back and I'm glad you're here. And I invite you to share this if you feel like there's someone that you know and you care about that needs to hear the words that are being shared. Um, feel free to share this on social media. You can text it. Um, you can find me on Facebook at Brandy Kelly, and we have a Facebook group called Good Words, and then on Instagram, Good Words with Brandy Kelly, and the same on YouTube and TikTok. And I still haven't made a stupid TikTok, but I'm gonna get there. I'll get there. But in the meantime, I love you. I love you. I love you. And prayers for our friend Rachel Kemplin, who was a guest last year. She did just undergo liver transplant surgery. She did receive a liver, and she is in the ICU still. But so far, her body is accepting it. So please send prayers her way. And yeah, if you feel called to do so, if you're enjoying the show, it does help a lot if you take time to rate and review on Apple or iTunes. If you give us a rating, that just helps tell the algorithm that people like what they're hearing. And the same with Spotify. I think you can rate on there. Someone told me they were only able to rate a 4 out of 5, which, whatever, that's very odd. But yes, sharing is caring. Sharing helps, and so does rating and reviewing. And I'm so glad you're here. I love you. I put out new episodes every Wednesday, so I will talk to you next Wednesday. Until then, just be well